Well, as it stands, the closest clan to us would be the Spire clan to the north, who, as far as I'm aware, are quite united already. Your assistance would not be required by them. And I'm pretty sure that they do not want to get involved into this particular conflict, as shameful as that is.
What makes you so sure?
Well, considering that they've been watching us and have yet to send someone to actually talk to us, they've not responded to any of our messengers, although that might, of course, also be because those messengers never arrived.
Perhaps they will respond differently to us.
Perhaps.
You think it would be a bad idea to approach them?
I think that by showing your association with us, they might decide that Sunta is Sunta's influence is spreading to the point that they might want to stomp out a potential future enemy while we are so weak.
He looks out at all the Vivens and stuff. I don't think we're as weak as they might like.
No, we've certainly been weaker. However, that is exactly the point. We are getting back to the point where we might pose a threat. And since the Spire clan most certainly does not have any enormous dragons helping them, they would of course be a good target for an resurfacing threat such as we are. While territory isn't necessarily necessary for us, they have other resources that could be gained by attacking them, and it makes quite a lot of sense that they are somewhat cautious.
You said we have had no contact with them?
Well, none of our messengers made it, and as far as I am aware, there have been no attempts at contacting us either.
Looks to Kadok.
Geralt looks back at you. He gives you a look that essentially says, I'm not a politician.
Didn't Avendra just tell me that they had just had messages come?
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. They're covering it up. They're betraying you.
I'm going to say, do you not think we have done enough for the clan to be considered real members?
Well, I mean, it is without precedent to have such as you part of the clan. You are most definitely part of the clan. Moonhide made sure of that. And, well, I don't see why you wouldn't consider yourselves part of the clan.
Perhaps this council needs a few more members. There has not been a new high shaman since, well, Moonhide left and has come
Are
back.
you suggesting he is not coming back?
So I don't know. The spirits are often unclear about these things. He looks at them with a sort of, as you know, kind of look.
They nod sagely.
But until he does come back, we should have a substitute at the council. Someone with spiritual knowledge, and speak to them, and guide the Moon Clan in the way that the spirits would suggest.
I do think that would be appropriate. However,
I will send a few candidates and see who would be the best fit for the council. I have recently gathered up a few of the shamans around the place to see if we could have someone help guide this clan. For I'm feeling that as the spirits talk to me of deceit within the clan. The great water spirit is displeased and is threatening to withdraw support from the clan if something is not done to appease it. It says that the clan is more fractured now than it has ever been, even before we began uniting it. I'm not sure what that exactly means, but in time, when I commune with it closer, I will know.
That is dire news indeed, Tenroth says. However, I do like the idea of having a vote for a replacement head shaman. We shall provide our own candidates as well. There are some that Moonhide had great respect for, and while Moonhide himself did not have the respect of everyone, he certainly, at least in the beginning, he certainly earned it over time. There are few as powerful and as diligent as he was, so I'm inclined to think that those he favored would be perhaps a good fit for a replacement as well.
Perhaps. Regardless, watch out for deceit, betrayal, and withholding of information. It is a dangerous thing to play with.
Of course.
So, looks at Tanroth. He knows who's the fox behind this. I'll go tell Directus what happened.
Draxus will, open up an eye, look at him, seemingly listening. He seems very tired, but yeah, he will nod. He seems to appreciate the peculiarities of the situation.
So we should bust them when they're leaving tomorrow?
We could. It should be easy enough to follow them.
Huh?
And upon such a meeting, we could definitely ambush them.
Or on the way there, for nothing else.
Certainly. If we want to really take them... If we want to really catch them red-handed, we could of course follow them at a distance, and when the meeting is just about to be underway, just has started, then we can swoop in and basically slam our claws in the ground and be like, what is all this then?
Mm-hmm.
Or we might decide that we don't care and just take him out. Although that would be ill-advised currently with the big battle coming up.
We'd like to have the general and the beastbane and whatnot.
Yeah. Would like to have them all on
Oh, we
our
could of
side,
course
at
let
least
them
for
do
that.
it.
We could.
What were they going to talk about?
I'm not sure. Something the Spider Clan. My guess. My guess would be that the Spider Clan would offer them an alliance and then try to throw us out. Because the Spider Clan doesn't like Sunta, and since we are dragons, we to them represent Sunta.
So what we should do is go talk to the Spire Clan beforehand.
We could. Do we know where they hang out? Like, do we know where their main camp is?
I think Avendra was there. She could lead us.
Avendra implied that the camp the Spire Clan people supposedly have is just north of here, some distance away.
Well, we can go and take a look.
We'll rest a couple hours first.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Were they going tomorrow, Sheep, or like in a bit of time?
Avendra did not know when they were going to meet.
Oh, all right. We'll go tomorrow.
Right.
They might want to discuss a bit more. They might also be wary while we're here, and might want to wait until we leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tyraxus will sort of burr himself a little bit in the sand. Maybe a bit of tail sticks out. As he seemed to fall fast asleep. Dreaming of dreams of dragons. And getting some hit points. Because, ouch. That fight really hurt. Really hurt.
We also need Einavox back.
That would be nice, yes.
For how long will she be gone?
I don't know.
She can return whenever she wants to return. I'm not sure when that will be. Also, I've made the cave map available and built like a cage.
Our delicious stone cage. Cave map.
Onyx is just sitting entrance right now, just hiding from the sun. It's too hot.
Oh, there it is.
Too hot.
Yes.
Now with 100% less hexes.
Oh. Look at that. Did you manually get rid of
Yes.
all of that? Oh,
Yes, I did.
God.
1 second, sheep. I'm going to look for hexes.
That is awful.
There's still some lines around. It didn't take that long.
That is awful. Well. Yes. Make sure you feed the prisoners chickens from the hatchery. You know, the next day, if Einarbox is not back, you know, Traxxas will throw a look into the door, see that Hanlon is still there.
He is still there.
Okay. Then he'll walk into the caverns and take a peek at these two.
They would be awake, although removing their mouths is going to take forever. They would be awake, I said.
If you torture them to
Could you,
death,
could you be awake?
they'll become
Removing
ghosts.
unconscious does not work unless they have enough hit points to be awake.
Well, they have enough hit points. Okay, there we go. Now let's make them awake. I wish there was a button that just did that.
Rise from your grave.
You know, she'll stay prone. You see her, the sister of the two siblings, presumably, lying on the floor, looking at you curiously through the thick wooden gate.
Just looks back. Keep him alive. I like this one, eh?
She smiles. It was a compliment in a way. You're certainly different than the others I've met before. I've never ended up in this particular arrangement.
Well, I'm glad to be of service than providing new and exciting experiences.
Isn't life all about experiences?
No, life is about power.
Power can be an experience.
Looking at her. It can. So why have you decided to throw your lot in with the gold?
Oh, I have not. My father sent us to him because he was growing sick. And Orestrix seemed to be the only one who had an idea of what was going on.
And so what did he actually explain what was going on?
He explained that the sickness is the prelude to an attack. He made his case, and it seemed plausible enough. And since our father has apparently already decided that Orestrix is not the perpetrator, but rather one of the misguided people trying to oppose it, not very successfully, I have to say, he decided to give us to him.
What is your father's reasoning for believing him then? Just his words.
I have not asked my father. It would be a bit inappropriate, although I do suspect that perhaps desperation might have played into his decision. If there's a mysterious sickness threatening to kill you, then it seems plausible to cling to the only creature that would offer at least the potential to combat it.
Yes, certainly not the first time that would have happened.
Of course, Orestrix might very well be the one who caused the sickness in the first place. However, as unlikely as that seems to me with my current knowledge, it was either give us to Orestrix or do nothing at all. Worst case scenario, Orestrix is indeed the monster you consider him, and my father would have lost both of us, which he wouldn't have cared about because he would then have died from the sickness. However, best case scenario, Orestrix does indeed find a cure and everything is fine.
You heard the accusations we had against Orestrix. That we consider him to be something else than what he seems to be. Some sort of necromantic abomination masquerading as the gold.
I have to admit it might be plausible, at least, if what you say is indeed true, and I suppose you've... Well, the only reason for you to lie would have been to either convince both of us or to convince Tenderlin, and I'll assume that you wanted to convince us, at least. You could have also, of course, said the truth, which is a very plausible possibility as well. However, it would be irrelevant, because if what you say is true, opposing him would be rather foolish, wouldn't it? An ancient abomination in control of, well, at least powerful enough to destroy one of the orbs.
Yes, it is a frightening prospect. I assume you have been close to Orestrix a lot. Perhaps pleading your case for your father.
Not as close as we'd have liked to be, as it was mostly Fesekaret commanding us around. However, what we have seen from Orestrix fits with his... well, with what Tenderlin wants him to be. He does not at all seem like the powerful abomination that you suggest. There's no stench about him. He looks exhausted and desperate, if anything else, but that is understandable considering the situation. I would like to know what you think his final plan would be. Why would he do all this work if he is, as you say, so powerful?
Draxler shrugs. I do not know. It seems then that if he's out to destroy the dragon orbs, for some reason, he has destroyed one and is now going for more. Perhaps he destroyed the first one without thinking clearly, or perhaps he couldn't use it to find more of them. Now he has one more, the red one, and he dare not destroy it, because he might lose the others. It might be as simple as that. Maybe he wants to start a war with the dragon kind. Maybe he wants to fake an attack on both sides to start some sort of apocalyptic conflict that would weaken all of us. So then he can go for the kill properly. However powerful he would be, he would not be able to stand against the combined might of all the dragons. But if it
why then create an you could say ineffective sickness that is one of the primary reasons why so few dragons decide to attend the feast.
Well,
the sickness is lethal, however, it is not as contagious as people think. My brother and I are the living proof of that.
Well, the copper dragon we found seemed to have died rather rapidly. He doesn't say anything in his journal about being sick or feeling sick. He just died on his way in the desert. After attacking some aurochs, he just died. That is a very vicious and quick sickness. My guess would be then that Orestrix would perpetrate the sickness and then offer a cure. If you're the only one holding the cure, that certainly gives you a lot of power over the individuals that are sick. And if you need someone gone for good, you just accelerate it. Give them the full dose, as it were. They die off.
The sickness that our father has is not nearly as fast as you might think it is, and in addition to that, Orestrix does not offer a cure. He says he is hoping that he will find one eventually, but he does not yet have one. So why, if he wanted to simply attract other dragons with promises, why would he not offer those promises right now? Your logic seems as flawed as Tenderland's might be.
Well, if you give your subjects exactly what they want, they might leave again. He wants to string it out to keep it the charade going for as long as possible.
Perhaps. There's no way for us to tell whether what you say is true or whether what Orestrix says is true.
But you still believe Orestrix?
I believe that our father told us to do as Orestrix says. Opposing him would be undoubtedly foolish for us. It does not matter whether Orestrix is right or wrong as it stands currently.
Traxxas looks at her. Some measure of disdain on his features. He says, "I think I understand." And then he'll, slowly turn around and basically leave.
Before Terexas turns away, she does throw him a sort of look that can only be an invitation for at least a moment. Before she smiles and turns away.
Well, Draxus is, someone flirted with him. He's kind of proud. He's kind of, slightly embarrassed. He won't show it, of course.
Wasn't even Tantalin.
Wasn't even Tantalin, yeah. It was a hot blue dragon lady.
Apparently she really liked being a slave, so if you're into that.
all these feelings Draxus now feels. Well, he's gonna ponder this for a while.
Still like her if she lost some weight, yes.
You're not gonna turn them into anything. You horrid little
could
necromantic
borrow.
creature. No.
Think about that and fly far.
Absolutely not.
Such potential, though.
You are not to touch them.
Whether you could maybe take them to your land then.
I would, if I could.
Oh, well. If they end up randomly succumbing to some sickness or something in there, then they might as well make good use of the remains.
Draxus looks at her kayaks.
I have followers as well who are open to this sort of thing, and they themselves have far fewer of these things than I do under my control.
If you feel that you are unable to keep them safe and healthy, Rakax, then I shall endeavor to move them.
What do you want to do with them?
For now, keep them there. We don't want to return them to our potential enemy, but I don't want to kill them either. It would be such a waste of potential.
Well, or a way to use the potential.
Your undead abominations are just stale creatures.
But they are absolutely loyal, and that must come for something.
Draxus looks around. It does. Loyalty is certainly very important.
Big White wants to talk to us.
Oh, maybe he has found the spirit he was looking for. Welcome back.
More murder errands for that thing.
If we can capture an ice storm spirit, or convince one to join us, we could have a movable ice storm. That is true power.
That is an interesting prospect, yes. I suppose we should go visit.
Also, Einovax, you can tell everyone likes that the water pools are deep, but they are clean to bathe in if you need to cool down or something. There's nothing that'll bite you or anything. I took a look through them. Although I guess you could just turn into some sort of desert animal and not be bothered at all.
Oh, what, Vornix is currently inside your cave, just cooling off because it's so hot outside.
Yeah. You can go take a dip if you want. I live down there, but they're much bigger than they seem.
Especially for such a small, cute dragon.
There are also shamans walking around, tending to the shrine, keeping the scrolls from getting wet, sort of thing.
Do they bother me? No? Okay, I won't bother them.
Probably very polite to you, speaking in Shwanti and whatnot. Don't know if you understand any of that.
Nope.
Probably
I mean, I only learned common like 2 months ago.
That's right. Well, I guess we need to go and see the Winter Dragon Spirit Druid guy.
Well, first we'd want to go and deal with that meeting, right?
All right.
With the Spire Clan, see if we can make them join up with us.
I suppose so, yeah. I suppose so.
Standard tactic. If they fight us, we knock them all out. Then be like, "Oh, you can mend your friends," and they'll go do that, and we can talk to them while they do it. I say they are nervous because they heard the Moon Clan has dragons. How they heard it without the Sun Clan getting it, I mean, that's a bit of a mystery, but hey, I'm happy.
The Spire Clan has spiders everywhere.
Don't know what to do with Tandalin, though.
No.
Yeah, the two
Can we
blues
keep
seem
them as
like
pets?
they're like, no, we will not join you no matter what happens. You do whatever Dad says.
Yeah, they're daddy's boy and girl.
Can Tanlin be a pet?
I don't know, maybe. Maybe that's what the two blues would be good for. If he cares about them enough. You know? As long as he's loyal, they don't get brutally murdered.
I just like Tandalin. I just wanted to live,
You could make him write a book so he can talk to you for that.
Yeah.
But think about 3 more dragon things. Oh, fast zombies. That was fast.
I don't know.
And he can still fly and full attack. It's great. I could have them two burrow down outside here as statues in a way. Caxie's great potential. Gonna have to order more onyx from Magdor.
Seems like if dragons we fight and violently murder in combat. Do what you want with those. But if we can capture a few alive and
And then what?
it's,
You're gonna take dragon crafting to leech them for blood and stuff?
I don't know.
That's a way to earn money,
Yeah,
but it's a little bit sinister to Raxos.
Just prepare the dragon press,
Walking the harvesting.
that juice machine you built.
Scales grow back in time.
That's right. Resurrect Pile. Zombie Pile will.
Oh God. Probably not that guy. The mechanics. The thing is, these creatures are right now, below us, but they tried to kill us. We kept them alive so that we could get whatever we can from them, but at this point, I mean, in a way, we can trust them when they're dead. It is much convenient when people you kill will fight for you. It really helps.
I just want dragon minions.
Yeah, exactly.
But I want dragon minions, not skeletons.
I guess you can have her and create your own.
I guess.
Although she's probably a few hundred years older than you.
Because she has experience.
Nobody needs to know.
That's right.
The little dragon baby. I think you found a token picture for that. And if her brother, I mean, is kept, blackmail, I suppose.
We're gonna
Not
breathe.
the best start for a relationship.
Otherwise, your brother gets it.
How very blue of you,
Yes. Thank you.
control freak.
It's the blue way. It's the blue way. Well, I guess we stalk the council then. That's the first order of business, at least.
Yeah, we can discuss the fate of their bone. I mean, their body. I mean, of them afterwards.
Yes.
I mean, I'm really happy with either the skeleton or the meat.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, both is of course optimal, but if it's gonna be either or, we can share them in half. I can have one, you can have one. Yeah. Unless the others really want one too. Well, will the other two come out of the cave to go with us to talk to the spy clan?
Very reluctantly.
I should make an ice room in here. Like there could be an ice room or something. Because I think in here is actually full of burning skeletons. So,
Not the best place to cool
If I use my
down.
breath weapon to make it super cool down there.
yeah, and they explode. So don't do that.
Also, what I made it so cold I could stick to the ceiling because I get ice water.
Isn't there like snow in the mountains here? Like on top of them, or are they not that tall?
Some of the mountains in the Wyvern Mountains are pretty damn high.
Yeah, I need to have a look around.
Yeah.
I mean, you have seen an ice wyvern, so you can only assume.
I mean, I know there's flowing water in my place. That would suggest at least there's like monsoon-like. I imagine like the lake here. There's a lot of evaporation that then moves up the mountain. Then when it moves down rapidly, it will begin to like contract and then make tons of rain happen on that side of the mountains, meaning that that's where my water comes from. Well, I suppose most of it just runs parallel down into the forest instead of running through the hinterlands.
A lot probably ends up in the forest, yeah.
But some of it is underground, and that's what I like. Nice cold glacial water. Delicious. And some dreamed up seafood.
Kayak's brand glacial water.
That would be the best dragon exporter. You found out that behind the glacial water company there's a dragon. It's the front.
Oh my god. It's not as horrific as the Slurm Queen, but
Yeah.
I would totally try Kayak's brand water.
I guess we should fly up north. We'll talk to the Spire Clan people. They did ask for the leaders of the Moon Clan after all. Does anyone still miss hit points?
I do. It's not many. Okay. Missing like 10. What is it? 10? Yeah, 15. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Where's my girl? Avendra, get over here. I know you like riding the Viper.
14.
Time to dragon trip.
Time to dragon.
There we go. Didn't buy this saddle for nothing. It's a military grade strap-in saddle. Masterwork and very fancy. Fancy saddle.
Alright, well. Away!
Not as fancy as Einavox's saddle, but
Who's gonna sit in Einavox's saddle?
I don't know. Could be anyone. It's a mystery.
Am I the only one with the respect not to get a saddle?
Tyrannosaurus has not a saddle on him, if you look.
He was going to.
He has the magical powers of a saddle, but you don't see a saddle.
When I open my sight, I can see him.
Let's be honest.
No, it's actually...
Let's be honest, you would have got a saddle.
I mean, I have a saddle.
Protecting
it's
your
just-
horde right now?
It's buried in gold right now.
I'm just saying you would have wore the saddle if you had needed to.
Yes.
You understand the plight.
You
From,
wore like a
from
bride.
from the fight we just had. Are you kidding? Yes, I would.
I have no saddle. I have no Jingaza. I have pride.
What do you have?
Remarkably, not that much equipment. Sheep can vouch for that.
Also, I don't have a Jingasa, a hat. I have, as I said, I have one of those like Chinese, Japanese charm things, like hanging from one of the horns. It jingles slightly.
Sure.
So you head north trying to look for the camp without trying to like follow the council or anything, just on your own.
When
Yeah, I
do they
think so.
leave during the day?
Well,
They
yeah,
do not
it's-
seem to want to leave anytime soon, at least.
Well, we need to leave first because they don't want to leave when we are here. Clearly.
We'll go and talk to the spy clan. We're a lot faster than the council. And when they come, we can condemn them by tribunal, if need be.
I mean, the council is only as fast as the old man. Old
Yeah,
man
exactly.
Tethers or whatever his name was. He's just
He's not the type to be allowed to allow them to leave him behind.
no, exactly. He's like
It's
land
about
speed
bad
10
mouth
or something.
dragons.
You know.
Thing is, without us, they're screwed.
Yep. They just don't realize it. And Spire clan has promised them everything. It's like gold, wealth. awesomeness.
ants when you step on the ground. Be great nobles of the Spire clan. If they've been bribed, I will slay them all. And then zombify them.
Well, if you want to head out, then Vendra can at least tell you the direction to where she thinks the camp should be.
Good.
And
Yes,
it really
yeah.
isn't that far of a trip until you spot what could be it. It is a collection of tents, pretty much identical to most of the surrounding camps. However, it is slightly distant from the main body of the clan here. I can drag you there. As always, you are not as close as you appear. I also dragged your map marker, apparently. Let's see. Vision blocking, yes. Whoop. Coming closer, it is clear that this is far more of a makeshift camp than the other camps are, with tents that can quickly be constructed and deconstructed. And considering the lack of marks of activity on the floor, it's quite clear that this camp hasn't been here for quite that long.
Alright, look at that guy. He looks pretty cool.
Look at Shannon. She looks pretty cool.
Well, she also has another one, Alanan.
Yeah, Alanan Shannon. Okay.
Well, I would hang out with Raven Six at night.
A ward drummer? Oh, a ward drummer. Not a ward rummer. I was like, what's a rummer? Oh well. And Raven sings at night.
Can we do the usual, like, few circle
Mm-hmm.
flights?
Make it obvious.
Yeah, we're here. Like, hello, we're here.
Mm-hmm.
It makes us obvious. Just to talk, get your things ready if that's what you want. We're not here to attack you. Then we've done so already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, circling above them, they certainly get uneasy, but they don't immediately attack you.
Let's go land nearby.
Flump.
I mean, that's maybe a little too close. All right, fine.
You say nearby. This is nearby.
It is also quite obvious that Raven sings at night, presumably the shaman of the group, as is evidenced by his general look and the fact that he looks very different from the others. He does seem to cast a few spells on himself as he sees you approach.
Draxus lands here. Big buffeting wings, sand and everything flying everywhere. And then he, rears up, looking about and say, "We are here seeking the leader of your group. We wish to parley."
The strange-looking man, who you as players see as Raven Sings at Night, steps forward a bit, makes a slight gesture of greeting. The raven croaks, "Greetings!" As he then repeats, "Greetings! You have come here to discuss something with the Spire clan?"
Indeed, we have. It has come to our attention that he sort of, looks over to Rakax if he wants to do this, or if he's going to let Tyraxus take this. I mean, it's his people more than Tyraxus' people, honestly.
I was muted.
No.
Well, we'll look at him and say, "Greetings. Do you know who we are?"
I do suspect that you might be the four dragons who have united the Moon Clan and also in the same move taken control over it.
We are members of the Moon Clan, if that is what you're asking.
We do have some influence because of the deeds we have done to aid the clan in fighting the enemies of it. We were once lost without a home, and now we have one. And we would hate to see it go. To be honest, I very much like the culture and the way of the Swanti people. Even if I'm still new here, I'm learning much. And I would hate to see this war with the Sun Clan and the Skull Clan escalate more. We are looking to stop the fighting, to make sure the Shuanti people are strong once more, and only together can we weather the storms of, well, the lowland expansion.
The raven croaks again. "Equals!" As the shaman says, "You would then consider yourselves equals to the other members of the Moon Clan."
Okay, actually nod. Says yes.
Tyraxus doesn't say anything.
We are equals in terms of what we represent. However, our deeds perhaps is what has given us further influence than most others. We have done much that no one else has even attempted.
You've certainly earned the respect of many, that much is obvious. Although, as you say, you are looking to weather the storm, however, it is often the case that you reap what you sow. There does not have to be a conflict, and this is why the Spire Clan has sent this collection of people to talk. We are willing to help the Moon Clan.
That sounds great.
We are willing to support you in your attempts to provide the proper tribute to the Red so that he may once again be satisfied. There does not have to be conflict between the Moon and the Sun Clan.
Tyraxus
But
looks at
with
him.
one paying tribute to the other, there is naturally conflict. A non-conflict situation would be a situation of cooperation, and the Sun Clan, as far as we understand, does not necessarily want this. They simply have no choice, for their leaders have been tempted by the power that has been given to them by the fire giant Sunta.
The absence of fighting is equal to the absence of conflict.
And you were to pay this tribute out of the goodness of your hearts?
We would provide some of the tribute to the Watcher if the Moon Clan were to agree to stop its resistance.
You wish the Moon Clan then to bow before Sunta?
We wish the Moon Clan to not incite this conflict any further.
By bowing?
He nods.
Sadly, it is not as if that would leave the clan alone. Look at them.
The Sun Clan and the Watcher could have destroyed the Moon Clan at their leisure. Yet they have not.
They
They
consider
too
them
wish for
broken.
They too wish for a peace, although of course a peace advantageous for them. It is a peace regardless.